By August, powdery mildew can seem to appear almost overnight. 1 week, your cucumber, zucchini, rose, or phlox looks perfectly manageable. Then white patches start spreading across the leaves, and your first instinct is to grab a spray bottle or start cutting foliage. But there's a problem with that approach. You're treating what you can see without asking why the disease suddenly found such favorable conditions. That white coating is only the visible evidence. The bigger story is happening around the leaves, in the air, inside the canopy, and during those warm days followed by cooler, humid nights. And this is where August becomes important, because powdery mildew doesn't simply show up because a leaf got wet. In many cases, the real issue is the microclimate your plant has created for itself. So before you remove another leaf, there's one part of the plant you need to examine first. What you are seeing on the leaf is not simply a layer of dust. Powdery mildew is a group of fungi that grows largely on the surface of plant tissue, forming those familiar white, powder-like colonies as the infection develops. Those colonies can produce spores that spread to other susceptible leaves, which is why the problem can seem to move through a plant even after you have removed some of the worst-looking foliage. And there's an important detail here. Removing visible growth does not automatically change the conditions that allowed the fungus to establish in the first place. That is why a gardener can cut away several affected leaves, look at the plant a few days later, and find fresh white patches appearing on younger growth. The plant itself may still be perfectly capable of producing new leaves. The problem is that those new leaves are entering the same disease-friendly environment. So the useful question is not simply, how do I get this white coating off? It is, what changed around this plant that made infection easier? And in August, that answer often begins with the space between the leaves, not the leaves themselves. And that space between the leaves can be very different from the air you feel standing beside the plant. Think about a mature zucchini plant in August. From the outside, it may look like one large green mass. But inside that canopy, leaves overlap, sunlight is reduced, and air movement can be surprisingly limited. A similar pattern could develop in roses, phlox, bee balm, or grapes when foliage becomes dense. Now add the August weather pattern. Warm days can encourage new fungal growth and spore production, while humid nighttime conditions can create a favorable environment for powdery mildew development. University extension guidance consistently points to shaded, crowded areas with poor air movement as higher risk locations. Notice the distinction. This does not mean the leaves need to stay covered in water. Powdery mildew is unusual among many plant diseases because many powdery mildew fungi can infect without prolonged free water sitting on the leaf surface. High humidity around the foliage can matter much more. That is why two plants only a few feet apart can behave completely differently. One may be exposed to moving air and morning sunlight. The other may have a dense, shaded interior that stays humid for longer. And once you see that difference, the first place to look for a solution becomes much clearer. So now look at the plant differently. Don't begin by asking how many leaves have powdery mildew. Start by looking at the canopy itself. Are stems packed tightly together? Are large leaves overlapping and shading the interior? Is new growth creating a wall of foliage that stops air from moving freely through the plant? Those clues matter because the goal is not simply to make the plant look cleaner. You are trying to change the conditions surrounding the remaining healthy leaves. Begin with obvious overcrowding. If several plants are pressed tightly together, the space between them may have very little air movement. And when one plant is creating a dense canopy, selectively removing severely affected or unnecessary foliage may help open that interior. You also want to look at irrigation. Powdery mildew does not require a constantly wet leaf. So simply keeping leaves dry will not solve every case. But watering practices can still influence the overall humidity and stress around the plant. Avoid creating unnecessarily humid conditions around dense foliage, and give the root zone consistent moisture without repeatedly saturating the entire canopy. Then look at the healthiest new growth. That is your real test. If new leaves continue emerging clean and the canopy is becoming more open and better ventilated, you are changing conditions, not just hiding the symptom. And that distinction becomes critical when you decide whether treatment is actually helping. This is where treatment becomes easier to understand. A fungicide can sometimes reduce active powdery mildew on susceptible plants, but it does not magically remove the conditions that made the disease favorable in the first place. That distinction matters. There are really three different goals: reducing disease that is already present, protecting healthy tissue from new infections, and correcting the environment around the plant. Those goals overlap, but they're not the same thing. A heavily infected leaf may already be damaged beyond recovery. Removing severely affected tissue can sometimes reduce visible disease and open the canopy. But the more important question is, what happens to the healthy leaves that remain? If the interior of the plant is still crowded, shaded, and poorly ventilated, new growth can continue entering the same disease-friendly conditions. This is also why one spray should never be treated as a guaranteed reset. Disease control products differ by pathogen, plant, timing, and formulation. Some work best as protective treatments before infection becomes severe, while others have limited activity once symptoms are well established. So if you use a labeled product, identify the problem carefully, follow that product's directions, and use it only on plants and situations listed on the label. The spray is one tool. The environment is a condition you are actually trying to change. So the next time powdery mildew starts spreading across your leaves in August, don't begin with the spray bottle. Start with the plant itself. Look inside the canopy. Look at how tightly the foliage is packed. Look at the air movement, the shade, the nighttime conditions, and the way water is reaching the root zone and foliage. Because the most useful question is not, how do I get rid of this white coating? It is, what conditions are allowing new infections to keep appearing? Once you start looking for that, powdery mildew becomes much easier to diagnose instead of something you simply react to. And that is a lesson worth remembering. Treat the disease you can see, but correct the environment that keeps giving an opportunity. For more evidence-based gardening explanations like this, subscribe. And the next time your plant sends you a warning sign, look a little closer before reaching for the remedy.